If you think this was an episode where Fluttershy gets her key to that weird box, you're completely wrong. In fact, I was completely wrong myself. I mean, normally I thought, like, since the 8th episode, Rarity Takes Manhattan, I thought it'd be usually, like, where it's like, every 2 episodes, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, etc., they find their keys, but I guess this ain't the episode. With that said, let's just jump straight into this, okay? So this episode is called Philly Vanilli. Yeah, ain't that an interesting name? Anyways, Fluttershy is singing for her animals, and the one thing she's afraid of is actually singing up on stage. And one thing to make her nervous go much bigger is, of course, Pinkie Pie just explaining in great detail how she can be nervous. And of course, whenever she's up there trying to make Fluttershy nervous, I'm just wishing I could just go inside that realm, just grab Pinkie, just basically knock her out and tell her to snap out of it. I mean, for all that has happened in the past episodes, I know Pinkie Pie's supposed to be over the top. I can understand that. But when she's trying to make someone nervous or scared or anything, she really pushes the boundaries for me. It's the reason why I don't like Pinkie Pie in this episode. With that said, what continues to happen next is, obviously, Big Mac and the rest of the group, the Ponytones, basically practice up on stage their singing, and of course Big Mac's that deep voice singer for the group. And what winds up happening next is basically what happened last night. Big Mac completely lost his voice to a turkey competition that Pinkie Pie could do. And basically was a competition to make, well, turkey sounds. And with that said, basically they go to Zecora, which, thank God they didn't leave Zecora out of season 4. That would have been a real nightmare without seeing her little bit of rhyming and stuff and all that. She does think of an antidote for this situation, but it will take days for Big Mac to actually get back his deep voice. What they realize is that actually when the group fell under the poison joke, Fluttershy had the really deep voice, which, of course, everyone called Flutter Guy. And they ultimately decide, including Fluttershy, to do this whole entire, have, like, Fluttershy with the deep voice behind the stage, or in the bell, or just anywhere she can hide. And basically have Big Mac basically try to lip-sync the voice of Fluttershy, which, in turn, works out perfectly fine. They winded up performing at a bunch of various places. Of course, their singing is a big hit at the little pet fundraiser. Soon they started doing parties, and then, like, grand opening to some party shop order. I seriously don't understand that. Then a spa, then up on stage for some girl's party. Actually, I think I mentioned that already. And of course they perform at Sugar Cube Corner. Well, actually, the school, then Sugar Cube Corner. What happens next is that Fluttershy is soon told that that Big Mac has gotten his deep voice back and can sing up on stage. Fluttershy feels completely upset over this situation, and Rarity and Big Mac decide to actually go back and to let Fluttershy sing back up on stage while Big Mac tries to lip sync. However, this time, what happens next is that of course, Fluttershy goes over the top of their singing. Next thing you know, knocks down the curtain, knocks out Big Mac, and reviews that Fluttershy is singing the entire time, which to them is a twist. Well, really much of a twist if you were living inside that world and you were actually at that performance, then it would be a twist. What happens next is that Fluttershy, of course, gets stage fright. It has that weird, trippy trance that's almost seemed like a callback to the, what was it? Hurricane Fluttershy. And you know, the Flutterguy thing is almost like a real good flashback to Brittle Gossip. Of how they use a lot of the clips from, the part where they get the poison joke, what happened to everyone, and of course, Fluttershy's deep voice. And of course, Fluttershy gets scared, runs off, and then next thing you know, actually does take a hot shower, and of course, her deep voice is completely gone. Pinkie Pie, main six, go to her house, and then, and of course, being Pinkie Pie, she starts going in great detail about her fears that causes her to get much scared than ever before. Again, why must Pinkie Pie be so... I don't know, why must she be like that? I mean, this is the reason why Pinkie Pie does not do too well at this episode. I'm sorry, Andrea Lindman, I'm sorry for this, but I mean, I love your performance as Fluttershy, but with Pinkie Pie in this episode, no way. I've already talked about this earlier. I ain't gonna repeat myself again. With that said, what happens next is that the town actually the main six is chasing her throughout the town, and what happens next is, of course, her fear of singing. And of course, she's being chased through town up until the bridge, where Fluttershy actually makes a declaration saying to her friends that she ain't gonna sing ever again. What happens next is that Pinkie Pie tries to explain the obvious, but of course Twilight blocks her. Thank you, Twilight. And they try to help out the situation, and of course, what winds up happening is that Pinkie Pie does perform in front of the main six, as well as Fluttershy's animals. Good enough. And of course, Fluttershy, of course, doesn't want to take a big stage. Of course, she's taking, of course, as she quoted, baby steps. And I mean that literally. And, Philly Vanilli. Good episode. I think this, personally, for me, is one of the few best Fluttershy episodes. I don't know. Maybe my opinion will change sometime in the future, depending on the situation at hand and just alone the overall theme of the episode. And with that said, this episode is probably my least favorite with Pinkie Pie. Obviously, as most people know, Pinkie Pie is just becoming like this running meme. Like, she's like the Deadpool of MLP. You know, that weird comic character that always keeps tying in pop cultural references. And, I mean, I love Fluttershy in this episode. I mean, if I was to summarize this episode entirely, it'd be love Fluttershy, hate Pinkie Pie, love the story. I don't know, my opinions will change much more later on. So, let me give you guys a quick information. Now, don't freak out if next week I don't have a new MLP Vlog. Fact is, I'm having my wisdom teeth removed by Thursday. And I don't know whether I'll be able to talk a lot or not because of this, these things being, about the wisdom teeth being removed. So, there's a little warning for you. Don't freak out if there's not a new vlog. If my mouth feels better, I'll do it on the weekday. I'll do it on my webcam. Just whenever, okay? So, yeah. So, stay tuned, I don't know, next Saturday. I'll see if I feel alive, if my mouth feels alive by Saturday to speak my opinions about the episode or not. Or if I have to wait a weekday to talk about the episode. With that said, I'm the Ferb Guy, and I'll see you guys in the very near future. And special thanks to Fire D Boney for the new title card for these vlogs. Alright? See you guys.